Okay, we are recording now.
Thanks,
So you
Jay.
can see my phone screen now. Yes, Catherine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch Masterdojo app. And you can currently see, there are three, you can see that people can search for educator, people can search for online programs or events, workshops, seminars, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We have 90 degrees, Will and Craig on the top, given that they are the co-founders, and, the very first initiators of, right? So if we go here, you can see there are different cards for each educators, right? So, for example, Abundance Global, another business.
Yeah, I use David's screen as an example because ours isn't. We've got our team member populating this for 90 degrees for Money and You, and eventually this is where we'd house. Once we've got my stuff done, this is where we'd house it, but under my brand.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So, as an expert, as an educator, so David is a business coach. People can come and search for David as an example, and it would come up, or it's in this instance, it's already here, right? As a recommended popular. It's like being on a top front page of Google. So once I go in there, as a learner, what I see, I would see, a brief information about what this company does. So this is someone in the market checking out a business or checking out, and exploring what this educator is doing. What are their popular offerings? Where you read Abundance Global, if the video is uploaded, the video of the expert is playable as well. In the absence of a video, you see the logo, right? Different educational content that might be published in form of online programs, or seminars, workshops, events, even sometimes we are exploring even merchandise or physical products can be available as a popular offerings. So you can see these are all the different programs that David has published. Let's say as a client, if I want to explore what is this, confident of victory in demanding times. So I tap on it and I see, read more about that program. Right? A way of distributing content. And I have already registered or signed into this. So I see access now. All the content that is there. So, workbook, online modules, if it's ebooks, chapters, or if it's a seminar or events, it can be, the same functionality can be session 1, session 2, day 1, day 3, week 1, anything can be created from the platform perspective, right? I can see who is the trainer and the trainer profile. When I go access now, I can start to actually access the content. So this can be documents, pictures, videos, anything that might be added in that particular, module can be accessible, right? So I can access this PDF file as an example. It's taking a bit of a time with the internet being down, and there are videos people can add, and a bunch of things. You get the picture, you get the gist.
Sure.
If there are other programs, I think this one might be good, right? So see Abundance Insights, because I have not registered into this, and if it's published as a free program with bunch of content, primarily, people are using it as a lead magnet to get the details of people, a single click registration. Because people have already signed up into the app, they don't have to fill out name, number, email addresses, anything. They just click register and, now they have access to the content. Meanwhile, the expert or the educator actually receives the, name, email address, all the profile detail of the user. So great from a lead generation perspective, just as a small strategy, right?
But of course, if it was a paid program, then the app allows them to pay for it in the app.
Okay. And can I just ask with that, we always struggle with this with our clients, and I'm sure you've got a solution for it. When they access it, there's obviously different privacy issues across different jurisdictions. You've got that under control under the app?
So it depends on, so can you tell me a specific issue? So essentially...
Well, GDPR is the main one.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing is, from an expert perspective, a lot of them are worried about their intellectual property theft. What happens in that scenario? My videos or my content, my expertise being stolen, online. That part is covered. So app actually protects them from, their content being stolen. From a GDPR and data sharing perspective, legal terms, conditions, all that is taken care of. Yes. We actually have clients using this in Europe, in UK, and starting to get some interest from Europe as well. Recently I spoke on one of the hackathon and, starting to get some inquiries from Norway and a bunch of other countries. So from a video, content perspective, people can start.
Are you overcomplicating?
Oops, I won't go there. But you get the bit of a gist, right? But
does that answer the question for you, Catherine?
Slightly. So the thing that would be concerning to me, just as a marketer, that from your perspective as an investor, as running the app, is where you need explicit. You need explicit consent to market to people. So if they're just clicking a button on random people, and then the email address is being shared back to them, what they do with that is a legal concern to you in the app as well. That's all. We have this problem all the time with running free webinars and all sorts of things. So
it's the consent piece. It's the consent piece, Jay.
Yeah. So it's our legal terms and conditions actually take care of that. When people, not only download the app, but then, give access to their phone book as an example, or, what happens with my profile. It's no different from, somebody selecting a course and then using that information for the purpose for which it was provided, right? So whole GDPR, the spirit of the law is that I'm using the information for the purpose for which it was provided. And not for any other purpose. That's kind of the spirit of the law. I have a lot of background from a financial services industry where the laws are extremely stringent with this information. So we have embedded that with the utmost care from day one. Being transparent with the users. Also, Apple and Google, because the app is accessible on their app store, you have to have those compliance, or otherwise they just don't allow you to publish the app. If you're not compliant.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's all I was worried about. That you've got that under control. That's great.
Yeah.
I probably should. Jay probably didn't. I'll just say he's very modest, so he wouldn't have told you that he has overseen $435 million worth of tech projects in the last few years, one of which was a $150 million app for Suncorp. So $150 million app. How insane is that?
That's incredible. Yeah, amazing. I love it.
So all those things are just, bread and butter part. You have to think about it. Otherwise, it gets shut down from day one, if you don't think about these things. So again, from a learner, client perspective, they can see, for every content that was published, where are they in the journey, right? So they can hear, if you see, they've completed 3 out of 9 sections. So again, you start to provide a lot more, personalized experience of, they can just pick up where they left off in an online content consumption. They can see what was the last content that they reviewed. They can provide testimonials. And, testimonials, as you know, the video written testimonials, there is a degree of trust issues in the industry. But video testimonials, you can't fake it. right? There's a real client speaking. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you on the Zoom because it would compete with the camera. But see this little plus icon under the testimonial?
Yes.
People can go and record a 2 minutes video. Use it as a feedback to the educator or the consultant or an expert, or share a success story or the results. And in that we capture the consent, can we use this video for marketing purpose? Can we use this video for sharing with the community? Or this is just a feedback from a client to the expert, right? So we capture 3 types of consent in a digital footprint. Depending on a consent, if they have given the marketing consent, then you can actually download the video and use that content for anywhere else in a social media. Very efficient way of generating a lot of video testimonials.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I'll quickly show you the part that Ril was talking about, the referral from a referral marketing perspective. So let's say I'm a client of David. I attended one of the seminar or workshop or even a one-on-one coaching session. And there's a simple question posed. Is there a friend or a family or a colleague or a business associate who would benefit from what David does, right? What the expert provides, essentially asking for referrals. And I go, yes, of course, and there's little sharing icon you see at the bottom next to the house, next to the home screen. Yes. So, people go there and we are kind of, again, using this over the last 18 months. There is this 5 steps through which that they can actually provide referrals. So the word of mouth referral is one of the, as you would know in the industry, one of the best way of growing business from a client acquisition perspective. So far, there has not been a transparent, digitized, and a more efficient process of really looking at which client is providing referral to who, and what have they done with the receiving the information, right? Recipient of the referral, until they actually make a phone call. Now we can see who referred whom, and what have they done with the receipt of the referral. So I'll show you what happens.
So great.
Right? So if you go...
This is so exciting, Jay. This is very, very exciting. Can I just ask, just before you go on, most of my clients have a referral program that is attached to a referral fee. Is that captured in here? I might be getting ahead of myself, and you've probably got that in there.
When you say referral fee, tell me a bit more about that.
So, for example, like an affiliate program where a client might refer someone and then to someone else, and then there's $1,000 USD referral fee attached to that.
Yeah, it's the same with for Money and You, Jay, where we pay $250 for a graduate to refer someone.
So yes, that's taken care of, Catherine. Because you have transparency, you have visibility of the data, you can see the fundamental of referral marketing. You incentivize someone who is sending the referral, but at the same time, you also incentivize someone who is receiving the referral to make it attractive and, build a relationship and trust, right? So, but the biggest issue that we saw and we wanted to solve was, how do we create transparency in the matter? You can do all that. If you have the transparency, if you have the data, then you can do what you already do. If you don't have the data, then you can't exercise those incentives, right? You can't provide those incentives. So essentially, yes, so we have taken care of that, right? When a client chooses to send a referral, you can see this message comes up. So client don't have to do the thinking of, how should I introduce this expert or this business to my friend or a family or a business associate. That thinking is done for them, in form of a marketing copy, right? Message copy. Obviously, if a client wants to change it, they can change it and go and change the message. Otherwise, in 99 out of 100 cases, 9 out of 10 people just go, yep, I'm happy to go with it, right? If they have a question, if a client have a question, what is my friend going to receive in addition to this message, they can actually click on this little URL and preview the message, which is again a simple landing page with a straight video message of what the referral recipient will see on a landing page. All of that happens on a Masterdojo platform itself, right? So people can go and preview the message that they are going to send to their family and friends. Increases the trust and the confidence of what they're about to do, right? If they want to send a referral by email, they can again have a different copy. They can select an email as a delivery method. You know, the expert from a marketing perspective can shape the copy again separately as a default email message. And I'm going to send an SMS. If I click next, now everyone, I have about 3,500 contacts in my phone book. Everyone who is in my phone book comes up here. See that, and this is how we can actually track who has sent a referral to whom, right? So if I wanted to send a referral to Craig, and picked Craig's number, now app knows that Jay has referred Craig, right? But the more importantly, because the phone book is accessible here, it's very easy for the client to just go tick, tick, tick. Oh yeah, while I'm here, I'll also do that. They don't have to write down the name or a phone number or email address or any of those details. All they're doing is tick. Yeah. And every tick becomes a lead. So all I have to do is go next. And now, the SMS message is pre-drafted along with the landing page URL. And all those people I selected, would receive a text message from me introducing this business to my friends and family or my accountant or anyone who I chose from the phone book. Meanwhile, what's happened, I'm not going to send this right now.
Oh, come on. They'll all love it.
But you can see that there are 10 people who I selected, very easy. And that's the statistics we are starting to observe, average 8 to 10 referrals per client. Then they can also obviously share on the social media as well with any app. So if I want to share about this business on Facebook, I can go and do that. Meanwhile, what happens is app has, again, with consent, captured the name of 10 of my friends and family, their phone numbers, their email address. And in a normal course of business, I would be writing down the names and phone numbers of these 10 of my family and friends and giving it to his business coach saying, these people should really, benefit from what you do, David, and they should, really consider your services. And then salesperson from a marketing person, will actually send them an email, make a phone call, which becomes a cold call that my friends receive. Yeah. Not the best experience and not powerful from conversion perspective. Whereas here, it's effective because people are hearing it from me, so a trusted source. So they actually start to build a relationship with the expert, with the coach or an educator. And, magic happens, the rest of the marketing part, right? So that's what Ril was referring to. As a client, I can always see my referral history. So I can go and see, that I sent 10 referrals. These are the people I selected and sent the referrals to. I can see that. See, because they receive a unique URL and on the platform is tracking them. So when they click on the URL, out of 10, they click on the URL, we are tracking that they have clicked on the URL. When they fill out the form on the landing page, what we do is match the name, email address, phone numbers that we knew from the phone book, right? Versus what they provide. When that information matches, we know that, for example, Alex Fulton in this case, who received message from me, is now interested. Then we can go, this, out of 10 people, 3 people have expressed interest in filling out the landing page. So we can reconcile that. Yeah. So we can, and that's the point, you can now have the scenario you were talking about as $1,000 referral fee can be triggered because no chance of forgery or anything. There's a record here that Jai sent refer to Alex and Alan and Amber, and then 3 of them on this date and time actually expressed interest and they bought something. All the entire digital journey tracked through the data and the clicks. So then you can those incentives can be activated, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go ahead.
Some what we have seen is some educators choose to provide cash incentives, whereas some are offering, free tickets to the next event or, different forms of incentives, right? So we have an ability where people can do that. The incentive itself, we haven't yet built in it. We are just sharing the data. As we keep developing and expanding the platform, we will be building incentives in as well, cash or non-cash incentives, and you can pick a bunch of those incentives. That's what's coming in the next few months. Yeah.
Great. And does it integrate with your CRM? So can you track that?
Yes. So right now, given the stage of development where we are at, we give you all that data into CSV file that people can import into CRM.
Okay. Great.
What we are now working on is deep integration directly with CRM. So you can click the push of a button, it just automatically shows up into the CRM, right? That's something that we are working on. Any messages that if client wants to reach out and send a message, a very simple help me, mechanism is support request mechanism is built in. So clients can send a message to the coach, to the educator, to the expert. And then they will start to receive it and actually have a bit of an audit log of when was the message received, when did they actually action it. In the back end, they can action it, right? Any push notifications that might be sent from the educator, in form of, we have a new product offering coming up, seminar, event that is, webinar is starting. So people can actually start receiving those notifications here as well. And, we are sending what the client sent as well. So this is what you see the client experiences, right? Any educators who are their favorites, right? So for example, I look for kids, I'm looking for an educator who provides something to do with kids programs, right? And we have the Kids First Children's Services, who is one of the educator, and that's my favorite. They do a bunch of great content, and let me go and see that. Because they are now favorite, I can go and easily access my favorite master from there. Makes it easy to access all the favorites. Similarly, if there are any favorites, from my favorite programs or courses, I can access the favorite programs from here, favorite content from here, right? So makes a learning experience easier, accessing, interactions easier. If you look at the menu, like an Uber, what we are looking at, what we are building is a marketplace for experts and educators and coaches. As a client, I can go and add a new, my credit card, and any purchases I need to do, I don't need to bring out my credit card, online to enter it. It's already here. I can always see my payment history of any transactions I might have made. That payment history is visible here as well, right? Okay. So this is from a coaching perspective. Do you have any questions before I go and share about the educator persona?
We've only got 10 minutes, Joe.
Yeah, no, keep going. I think what you're doing is fantastic. I love it.
I think there is a bunch of things that's in the background, and I'll be more interested in, because there's a lot, I can keep talking about it forever. So, I'll be more interested in what matters to you, and then what would you be interested in, or questions you might have, and I can focus on covering that in the time we have left.
That's a little hard for me to know because I don't know the breadth of the app. Having said that, I think the referral piece was the particular piece that Real felt I would be interested in. She's absolutely 100% right. You know, we have a lot of problems with this particular piece at the moment, because for most of our clients, we are trying to get them to set up a good referral piece, and the typical affiliate programs don't track that well.
Yes.
It's the integration it's the integration piece that is always the problem. It's the integration to the CMS, it's the integration to the CRM, it's the integration to the payment system, the whole, and it sounds like you're well on your way to mitigating all of those problems that we usually have in that space.
Yeah.
There is no solution out there that does this really well, Jay. So this to me is the piece that gets me very, very excited. I love it. I really do. I think that you're onto something really special there.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think so. CMS, payment, we have done all those part. Next is the CRM.
Yeah.
That we are now working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
Yeah. I'll quickly show you from a educator or expert perspective. You can see a bit of a dashboard of the referral statistics, referral being one of the key, most valuable feature in the platform. You can see how many referrals they have received, how many people have actually filled out the landing page, and I'm showing you a test data right now. Average referral per client, who is the client, who is the highest referrer, etc. Right? You can start to see the statistics and insights, and we'll keep adding more to this dashboard. In terms of your content management, CMS piece, publishing the content, you just go and create offerings. You can see Rill and Craig's photo. Basically creating the products, whether it's an online programs or seminar workshops, and then start adding the content, right? So if you're creating an online program, my online program, add some, choose the category, whether it's business, health, nutrition, or fitness, career, family, relationship, sex, sports, work, different categories. Makes it easy to be found in the marketplace, right? Select the trainer, introduction video. It's fairly simple interface that we created, and then start adding the content in, however you want to organize it, whether it's chapters of the books or, audios, videos, pictures, workbooks, etc. for different sessions of the seminars or workshops. Add that here, pick up the schedule, decide the fees. We support 4 different types of payment methods. Obviously, free programs, single payment, or a multiple payment. We will be bringing that in next few months, and hopefully subscription payment is going live coming weekend, so we can start activating the subscription products, right? You can also build the referral, in the product itself. So what I showed you earlier was referral for a business. Similarly, we have built the referral at the level of the programs or a product or offerings as well. So, the default message that a client would see, that's the message expert or educator or business would draft here. That way, that work is done for them, remove the pain points for them, right? If I go back and then, you kind of review and publish the program, right? A simple process of publishing the program. I want to show you how the referral data comes. So for a business owner, they can see that on this date and time, using the SMS or email, this particular client sent this many referrals, right? So example, on 9th of May, I sent 9 referrals to this business, right? And I had edited the message. So you can see that. And, if I want to know who are those 9 clients, who are my leads potentially, then, I click on it and I can see the names, the phone numbers as it existed in my phone book. Is now accessible to me. This is the visibility that traditionally businesses haven't had in a word of mouth referrals. Right. And when the recipient of the referral goes and fills out the landing page form, they become what I call hot lead, and they are basically saying, call me. So salespeople should be calling them because they've actually expressed interest. Depending on the marketing strategy, what you do with this data, right?
Yeah.
So again, right now, where you see export to CSV, to import it to any of the CRM. In the future, and once we complete the CRM integration, it just automatically will flow through the CRM.
Yeah,
in form of the leads, right? So that's what testimonials in a video comes up here. Notifications, you can schedule a new notification, send it now or schedule it for the future. There's a bunch of other things that I can show you, but I think we promotion codes, giving the access to the account to the staff members, putting the terms and conditions specifically for the business. There's a bunch of things that already exist in a platform in a very simple and a usable manner. People can also, from a branding perspective, yes, there is a default brand and the colors of the brand, but then experts can also come and apply their own branding colors to provide a custom branded experience to the clients. I'll stop talking.
Jay, that's fantastic. It's
Did
so
you mention
good.
the white label as well, Jay?
Yes. And while you see the Masterdojo as a more of a marketplace, right, to make it affordable and accessible to everyone in the market, we also can create a white label offering for a specific business. So instead of clients downloading Masterdojo app, if we did this for you, they could download Catherine app as an example. Powered by Masterdojo. So no other businesses would exist. It's just exclusively for you. Same functionality, but without others in it. Yeah.
I love it. There's so much to love in there, and I really want to dig in and know a lot more about it. So maybe I do have to go. I've got a podcast interview in 1 minute, so I've got to go. But I do wonder if you could send me some more information. I know Rel and Craig and I will keep in contact about it as well. But I'm particularly interested in that referral piece, and I'd love to hear more about how that works and the cost and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So I think
so that we can explore that.
Yeah, so maybe the best thing to do, Catherine, is we'll just set up another time and you guys can have a really detailed conversation about it. So I think that's probably the best thing. So if I email Heather and we'll find a time in the diary, hey?
That sounds fantastic. And I'll try and make sure that Mateo's on here with me. So Mateo's my tech lead, and I know he'll have some questions around the integrations and those sorts of things, which would be really fun. Good. I'm sure you and Mateo will love each other. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks. Have a lovely rest of your day.